What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today, as promised, we are going to have a look at the charts for the Blue Risso. Now, before we get started, as I'm drinking my hot coffee, I would like to remind you that this is not financial advice. Nor am I implying that I have a crystal ball by talking about this chart. Now, let's just solve this before the danderheads even get going. I'm going to talk about what this chart means to me and how it's going to help me make a buying decision. But that doesn't mean that it's 100% a fact that this is the way it's going to go. Nor does it mean that you should be spending your money. So if you're one of these kids out there who likes to watch videos and make financial decisions, or you're somebody who's spending your rent money on VeVe items when you should be responsible, you need to turn this video off and go away, because I'm not going to tolerate you crying, I spent all my money on them VeVe items because Crypto Pro said it was going to the moon. I'm going to give you a moment of silence for all of the dinglings out there who make poor decisions. Moment of silence, and let's allow them a few moments to leave the room. Okay, now, if there's any left, watch at your own risk. Now that we have made that absolutely clear, let's take a look at this Risso chart. Now, as I always tell you, I don't make decisions without looking at the positioning of where an item is on the chart. So with this Risso, we can see our highs and our lows. We were up here at 415 at the peak. In fact, 440 is where the wick hits right here. And then we had this nice little low point at this candle. It was somewhere around 250. And we are currently sitting at the low point of a wick where we see a hammer doji candle. There's a hammer right there. And we are at a price of $261.99. And I am sitting here with a very itchy trigger finger. In general, we look at the peaks and the valleys to know where we are in the position of a cycle. And so after we come out of the box, you know, it's a very dangerous time to buy these things. When you come out of the box and you're sitting up at like a high point here, the place where I usually look to buy is after a correction when we hit a dip, like right here. And so since then, we haven't had any buying opportunities on this one, in my opinion, because we rose up and then we kept in this whole box of trading right here. And until we fell out of this box, I wasn't considering buying one. Now, notice that after we fell out of the box, we kind of held right at about 290, but then now we have a little bit of a capitulation where we've taken this nosedive down to 261, and we don't know if that's going to last. The one thing I can see overall is that this is still trending upwards. You know, you have you're coming out of the box, and we fire off with the price on the market after the opening price, and then it usually goes up from there, and then we have the correction. Okay, so what could happen from here? We need to interpret this hammer candle, and there's a few points in the past that we have seen this hammer candle, and let's just take note of what happens when we have that. So here's the first one right here. We have our hammer, and that's where your hammerhead is on top of the wick. And this is a red one. And so that is telling us that we're probably going to pound the price down. So it took a steep dive and came back up, and then it closed here. So the body of the candle shows you where it opened and where it closed. And the wick of the candle tells you how bad it got before the close. So it wicked down to here, but then it comes back up and closes this candle right here at this price at just below 380. So when you're looking at that, that tells you that this hammer this red hammer is probably going to indicate that we're going to pound the price down and open up the next candle lower, which it did. So then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row. Then we had an engulfing bullish candle that ended with a green doji. And that says indecision. But we had quite a bit of consolidation in here. And that said, hey, yeah, we're probably going to move up because we had this green candle that enveloped the last two, okay, almost a third, but at least these two. So that's a bullish engulfing. So we came out of that bullish engulfing and consolidated, made our move up. So then we had more consolidation here. And then we have another hammer candle, but notice it closed green. And that usually says that, okay, price could go down and then get driven up. Sure enough, it did. Okay, so right after we had this big pump and went back up to this peak of 420, what did we get? We got another red hammer candle. And what did this thing tell us? That we're probably going to get driven down. And we did. And the next candle opened up lower. All right. You see the body of the hammer ends here. And then the next one opened up lower. So it kind of gapped down, so to say. But then after this red doji, we got an inverse green candle, which is an indication of moving up. So looking at this one, we have two green hammers. One is an inverse hammer and the other is a hammer. And then we ended up here, ending on another green hammer. But then what happened after that was interesting. We went down. That's why you cannot 100% depend upon these. But we do study the patterns as they often repeat. After this went down, we have a red doji that turned out like they normally do, where price is driven down and the body of the next candle is below the wick of that hammer, much in the same way that it was below the wick of this hammer and it wasn't below the wick in this hammer. So 2 out of 3, the body was below the tip of the wick. Then we get this indecision candle here, the red doji, where it says, I don't know if we want to go down or up, and we moved up. And then we follow with yet another red doji. And what happened? Price gets driven down to the next candle. The body is right here at the bottom of the wick. So we had 2 in a row. But on this second one, you can see that we followed with a green hammer. And then a red doji, and now a green hammer. So it kind of looks like this downtrend is still intact, where I'm thinking I should not take a chance buying this just yet. But we are at the bottom of a wick, so that's a plus. But the other thing that we have to notice is the trend. The trend is your friend until the end. So here we have a low point here, and then we have a low point here. And when we connect these two low points, there's a slight upward trend there. So that could be a baseline. I don't know. It could be. You know, if we connect the bottoms of the completed candle bodies, then that trend line would look kind of like this. Okay, so whatever the case, overall, we're still trending up, even though we have lower highs from the past. We come out of the box here, and we had a lower high right here. And so what this is making is this big, huge wedge formation. Look at this, okay? Here we go. This is a pennant. What happens after pennants? You normally will break to the top side in a bullish market. So this could be building up to a breakout to the positive side. But since we're in a bear market right now, there's no guarantee. Once we finish and get to the tip of this, it could fall out. And since we have fallen out right here, so we're down at this point, if this is the pennant, then that's a bearish break. Now, let's throw some indicators on here. There's one indicator that I really like. It's the tricks. Let me see if I can get it up here. I'm going to have to move my video window up here so we can get to the indicators. So let's see what the tricks is telling us. This is a nice moving average. Let's change this to white so we can see it. Color white. Save. And we don't have enough data in order for the tricks to give us anything that is usable. Wait a minute. Let's try that again. I think I had not turned on the white color on the top one. No, the color is right there. So we don't have enough data for the tricks. The tricks is a great moving average. Let's look at our MACD, and this is looking slightly bearish. Yeah, that's not looking too good. So let's make this white so it stands out. And we see that we're in the negative on the histogram with one green candle here, which says that it might be reversing. But the fast line and the slow line are very divergent, and we're under the zero line, which is indicative of the drop from this high point down to where we are. Okay, what else can I use on here? Let's see what the stochastic is doing. The stochastic is looking like it could be telling us something significant here. Let's make the fast line my favorite color, which I usually do a green, and slow line is red. So this would actually indicate we have hit the low point and there's a stochastic crossover, which might mean that we're moving up. So it could be a low. So that's another case for me pulling the trigger at 261. Let's see if there are any other indicators off the top of my head. Bollinger Bands might show us a little bit, and it does. We are riding on the bottom band, and we've poked through it. Usually you go from the top, and then you kind of change course, and you head to the bottom, and once you violate that bottom band enough times, you reverse and start to move to the other side. So Bollinger Bands is kind of telling us that we're at the bottom here, which there could be a trend reversal. I'm trying to close this stupid thing out, and it's not letting me put the the cursor on. Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. Okay, I can't seem to, I got to zoom in to be able to turn it off. There we go. All right. Now, let's see if there's any other indicator that we might get. Moving average should tell us something. Let's check out our moving average. And it looks like on the 20 period, we're in a downtrend. This wick is pulling us down a little bit, but that's not to say that we're not at the bottom of that trend on the short-term basis. Is there anything else on here that I might think could give us? Let's look at the VWAP. No, that's not going to give us anything. Volume, no. Williams %R is kind of telling us that we're at a low point because we were coming out of the red here. We make a move up. We're in the red here, and now you see our purple line, which is a signal saying that we might be moving up. So I don't know. I might snag it. What do you think? Are you going to go for this Risso? I would like to have one just because I missed out on the first one, even though I could have bought Risso from the store back in the old days. But I waited too long, just like I waited to get my first Todd out of the store, and I was very upset when the Todd sold out. So I bought one on a trade where I paid 130 gems, and I got another one off the market for 300 bucks and watched them soar to 14,000. I sold one of them on eBay for cash for $1,000. All right, well, let me know what your thoughts are about this chart, and I'll do a separate video and cover some other charts. And I hope you enjoyed my last fun video. And let me know if you'd like more fun videos of me monkeying around in the body shop. One thing I have decided to do more of is enjoy my VeVe NFTs because it's fun. So I will do more silly monkeying around videos in the body shop where we'll have some of our favorite NFTs in action at the shop if you would like to see more of that. What I was also trying to explain when I was rambling in that last video is that I am working hard on helping Dokta Strange, who is of all things strange. I am trying to get him to the 1,000 subs level. Now, if you are subscribed to the Crypto Pro channel and you're a VeVe enthusiast, I'm asking you right now to jump on over to Dokta Strange's channel. Link is in the description, and go ahead and hit him a sub. And if you just did this, post it in the comment and say shout out to the doc. I just subbed. Woo! Okay? And I'll hit the like and the love button on your comment, and thank you ahead of time. And so what you're going to get from him is one of the best comic reports out there where he shows you how to evaluate each comic drop, where you can make the educated decision on whether or not you are stacking or slacking on that comic. I have made some excellent calls on comics because I follow Dokta Strange's advice because he knows the comics from the real world. So that's why I want you to get over there and help my man and give him a sub. You'll love the music, the groove, and you'll see he has great videos. You're going to love him. It's just great stuff. So please enjoy that and check him out. Well, that's all I've got for now, but I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. I appreciate all of you being here, and if you would like to donate to the cause, you may do so by submitting a super thanks, and I thank you in advance for helping me defray the cost of producing the channel. So that's all for now. Stay tuned, and I will see you on the next technical analysis video of a very popular VeVe item. Peace out, people. Gone.